Hey guys, welcome back. Today on The Untidy Artist, we are making Easter Bunny Gnomes. I absolutely love how these turned out. I think they're so whimsical and so fun. If you've been following my channel for a while, you might remember me doing an Easter Bunny fairy doll. And that's kind of where I got the inspiration on how to create the ears for our little gnomes. And so I'm super excited to show you how to put these together. Let's grab some supplies and get started. So you're obviously going to need some gnomes. I have 3 different tutorials that will take you step by step through how to make these cute little mini gnomes. I have one where you can actually make a gnome ornament. I'll be using the standing gnomes in this tutorial. And then I also have a girl gnome. So all of those tutorials will be linked below. These are made using gloves. They're no-sew, super easy to put together, and the links for all of those different videos will be below. So once you've decided which gnomes you want to turn into bunnies, you're going to grab those, and then you'll need a big white daisy. We're going to be using the petals from this flower as the ears for our little bunny. And this is the same way I did it in my fairy doll tutorial. And then you're gonna need some glitter. I found this really pretty glitter at Michael's. It has different textures of glitter in it, and I just loved it. You could also just use a plain pink glitter, or you could use whatever color you want. And this is going to be for the inside of the ears. Then I've got some little white pom-poms. They measure 1/4 inch. I have some Mod Podge and a little tiny paintbrush. The smaller you can get the paintbrush, the better. And then I'll be decorating with these cute little paper flowers. I love these. If you follow my fairies, you see me use these all the time. I've got my glue gun set on low and a sharp pair of scissors. So once you have your gnomes made, you're going to set those aside. So I've got my cute little bearded gnome and my girl gnome. I'm going to set those aside, and I'm going to grab my flower and pull it apart. If you are making flower fairies, you might find that you already have some leftover petals from making fairies. So I actually had quite a few of these, just random, and I was able to use those for the ears. It's a great way to use up those last pieces of petals. So I'm going to take one layer, and I'm going to just kind of separate 2 of the individual petals, and starting at the center, I'm going to cut those 2 petals. So you have what kind of looks like a heart. So now I'm going to trim them down. These are a little bit big. The length I was ended up with that seemed to be perfect for my little gnomes was about 1.25 inches, but you can make them longer if you want, shorter if you want, totally up to you. So I'm just taking my sharp scissors. It's very handy to have small scissors when you're doing this part, and I'm just going to start trimming them down. I like to fold them in half so the petals are right on top of each other, and cut them that way. That way you're getting the ears even. And I'm just going to keep cutting, and I measure from just the base of the ear up to the top of the ear. So I don't start measuring from the point. We're going to end up cutting that off. Then I'm going to grab my Mod Podge, and I'm going to start painting it in the middle of where we're going to put our glitter. So this is just going to be the inside of the ear, and I'm giving it a very generous layer of this paint, or of the Mod Podge, and you're just painting it right onto the inside of the ear. So you can see I've got a pretty thick layer on there. Then I'm going to put that on a piece of paper, grab my glitter, and just sprinkle the glitter directly over it. And then I take my finger and lightly tap it down. So I'm just gently pressing that glitter into the glue. I tap off the excess, and this is what we've got. And this video doesn't even do this glitter justice. It is so unbelievably sparkly and cute. It has little tiny gold hearts in it and different colors of pink. Oh, it's just super cute. So once they're completely dry, you're going to take your scissors and just trim off that tip. So my measurement for my ears from the very base at the bottom up to the top of the ear is about 1.25 inches. Now to attach the ears, we're going to put a small dab of glue right on our gnome's hat, just above his nose. And then I'm going to grab my ears and just gently press the ears into the glue, and I arrange them so they're laying right up against his hat. And you can see that the hat helps hold the ears up. Then we're going to grab our little tiny pom-pom. I'm going to put a small dab of glue right on the back of my gnome and add his bunny tail. And what do you think? I think he turned out absolutely darling. Then we're gonna move on to our girl gnome. So once again, I'm taking my glue gun, I'm putting a tiny dab of glue just above her nose, right on her hat, and I'm putting the ears right in the glue. And I make sure they're leaning nicely up against her hat. And then we're going to give this cute little lady a bunny tail. So once again, grabbing my glue gun, tiny dab of glue, and I just hold that in place until it sets. And then we're going to add a couple more details to our cute little gnome. I'm taking this metallic embroidery floss. I'm putting a small dab of glue on the back of her hat, and then I'm just gonna wrap that glue or wrap the thread around her hat 2 times to kind of just give a nice little pop of color right there on her hat. Then I grabbed 2 of my tiny little flowers, and I'm going to put a small dab of glue right at the base of her braid. And then just put my little flower right onto the braid. I hold it in place until it sets for a second. And I thought this added such a fun spring element to these cute little gnomes. And then I did actually go back and add a little bit of green thread around the top of my bearded gnome's hat. And what do you guys think? We're all set. We have bunny gnomes. I am really excited to use these for decorating for Easter. I think it would be really fun to make these into ornaments and hang them on a cute little like spring themed tree. I love how tiny they are. I love how easy they come together. I love that there's no sewing involved. What are some ideas that you guys have for how you could use these to decorate? I'd love to hear in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate your support. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And if you enjoyed this tutorial, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to find out when I come out with new videos, you want to click on that bell icon. You can share your gnomes with me with the hashtag UntidyArtistGnome on Instagram. And thanks again, you guys. You're awesome. I love hearing from you. I appreciate your support so much, and we'll see you next time.